Hi everybody. Today's podcast is all about future customers. I'm going to talk about if you're looking at 2028, 2030, what these customers or users are looking at, what are the likings and so on and so forth. I was reading one of the journal and few articles, so I thought let me share this knowledge with you guys. The end of attention economy, I see the next decade is going to reward something which is entirely different, which is customers or user or consumers are no longer wanting more, they are wanting better. So for the last decade, if you see the last 20 30 years, is that business was competing between more, right? More clicks, more engagement, more screen time, more consumption, so on and so forth. But now it is going to be changing. It is going to be less but better. The four global forces, what I see here is going to push the consumer to this breaking point. Number one, digital overload. They're overloading too much of apps, too much of content, too much of data. Number one. Number two, anxiety about global warming, war, and so on and so forth, which is political and geopolitical issue. Next is the economic uncertainty, losing jobs, AI coming in, so on and so forth. And the third one or the fourth one is the burning out, or too much of mental fatigue. As a result, what is going to happen, I see, is the people are going to be actively searching for brands or branding communication or brand story which act as a shelter, which means which will reduce stress instead of just creating it. So this is what I was reading. I thought I'll share with all of you. I hope this will help you to build your brand for the next 2030. So the next point is, it's called the restorer. Meet the restorer. If I tell you, buy less and buy better. This is the mantra which users are going to be demanding right now. Fiercely very protective about mental health. They don't want something which decrease or harm their mental health. They're very cautious and conscious about this thing. The third one is seek for radical authenticity. They're looking for only authentic content. So authenticity in terms of, if you see most of the reels or most of the YouTube stories which have more authentic, very raw, very rustic, not very decked up or background, or non if I tell you non-decorative, is those the story which takes care, which goes higher views. Third one, the fourth one is a value meaningful experience, which is they're looking for meaningful. So all put together is no longer asking for can I afford it. They're asking is that will it improve my life, will it improve my journey better, so on and so forth. So this is what is going to happen in the coming 2030. So the big shift, what I see, is consumption to restoration. What I see here is right now, what I read about it is that number one, yesterday it was faster, tomorrow is going to be slower. Yesterday it was very too many products. Is going to be a better products. Yesterday was digital fast. Now is going to be human fast. Yesterday was attention economy. This is going to be restoration economy. And for last 2 hours, yesterday it was ownership based, and this is going to be now is going to be experience based. Yesterday's way of consumers to think like productivity, now is going to be well-being. So that's the most important thing what I see here. The future of customer or consumer is buying peace and not product. So if you're trying to sell a product, you will not able to dent that trust. But if you're looking for experience, we're giving them authentic content. As I say in this following slide, it will help you to build the brand and build connect with the customers. So that's point number 3. The next one is peace is going to be the new symbol, which is expensive but inclusive, bigger and status. So that's going to be the much more wet in terms of the consideration of the user. Luxury is no more longer for the ownership. They're not looking for it. Luxury is more of an emotional well-being. That's what they're looking at it. So time, silence, good sleep, well-being, nature, health, human connection is going to be much more weightage in terms of the customers or users which are going to look forward in 2030. So hopefully you take this as a snippet, as insight, and try to build your brand in this manner. The next is the better buying loop, which is a better buying loop. When I say that is the craftsmanship, then true to sustainability, readability, radical, authenticity, transparency, long-lasting design is what they're looking at, because they are looking for sustainability. So that's the reason you will find a lot of clothing and material which use sustainability are loved by the younger generation right now. So the future motto is buy less, but buy better. So that's what the trend is going to be helpful for you to understand and use them in your marketing strategy and techniques. Selling more and start delivering better is the mantra. What I see here is that old marketing is all about FOMO, artificial urgency, loud advertising, slip discount, too much of screen time, and now it is going to be a new marketing. I'm sure you must have read right now the Gen Zs are buying a phone which are little analog. They don't have any notifications, only outgoing calls, incoming calls, which is they're using. Old phone they're buying, right? Flip phone. I'm sure you must have read that. So new marketing is all about quiet confidence, very proven trust related content. Radical transparency is very important. Long-term relationships. So it is FOMO versus confidence, artificial urgency versus trust, proven trust, loud advertising versus radical, transparency, and steep discounts. Steep discount. They're not looking at. They're looking for long-term relationships. So that's the gap which is coming up, which is what the user is looking at in the 2030. So I hope this also helps you. Reduce the cognitive load, which is should not increase, rather it should be reduced. But what I mean by that is that human experience is important, and technology has to be very quiet, very inclusive, very invisible, very, it should not be loud. So AI, the lifting, the heavy lifting of the AI, quietly solving the complexity of the background without demanding human interference or human attention. So that is going to be the most important part in the 2030. Human experience, what I mean by that is that frictional, very calm, and very supportive. Technology saves time, remove complexity, but makes the decision much more easier. So that's what the customers or users are looking at in the 2030. So I hope you consider these points also. 5 strategic lessons in 2020, 28 or 2030, what I see here. Number one, as per the report, what I see, number one, attention is no longer enough. The trust becomes the absolute biggest competitive advantage. Number three, simplicity transformation is more premium in the product feature. Number four is customers' well-being is embedded at a part of the product, core product feature or category or benefits. And number five is brands that restore energy are systematically outperform brands that are demanding attention. So that's going to happen. So I hope this brand architecture looks like this. The winning restoration economies all has 4 pillars: simplicity, choice, design for calmness, building trust, and create emotional value. So brand that reduce stress will create stronger loyalty. Very simple. What I mean by that is simple choices: reduce decision fatigue, design for calm, which is eliminate the friction. UX UI is going to play a very very important role here. Color is going to be important. Font hierarchy is going to be very important. How much of cognitive load you can reduce unnecessary without making the users choose their product. Next is building trust. Transparency is is going to be overhyped. And the last one is create emotional value. What I mean by that is focus on quality over quantity. So that's very important. That's what the user is going to look at. For the CXO, these are a few questions. Is burning out becomes the next major business opportunity for the sector? Number one. Number two, is he organizing using AI creating more stress for users or less or reducing it? Number three, can Indian brands uniquely build scalable business around conception of restoration? Number four is which industry stands out and benefit the most in this shift? The last one is how a CXO redesign the customer experience to actively restore the user energy. So this is going to be the new way of customers or users who are looking towards the brand. I hope it helps, and I hope you will be able to build your brand way forward till towards 2030. Thank you. So if I summarize the entire podcast into one line, this is what it means. The next decade cannot win by capturing attention. It can only win by giving back what people value most. That's the summary. Thank you.